And basically the beginning of the book is I Refuse to Choose. In the beginning of the book, it talks about a little girl. She's about 8 years old. She goes to school, and she's a very happy-go-lucky girl, very bubbly, just like my 7-year-old daughter. And when she goes to school, she's excited. She loves social studies. She loves speaking in front of her class. So when she gets to school, the teacher says she has the social studies project, and she's very excited about it. When the teacher announces what she needs to do, it says you have to basically choose your culture and do a presentation on your culture. Well, she's black and she's Puerto Rican. So she just melts down. She goes home to her parents and she's like bursting with tears because she doesn't know what to do. This is a decision that she has to make. Whereas, we can hand out a project and think, okay, everybody knows what they have to do. All the other little kids in the class were excited, talking about what they were going to do, and she's like, where do I fit? Like, what do I do? So I'm going to read a little bit of it here. You guys can find out. So it says, Poppy stood at the bus stop. I'm sorry if I hand my back to anybody. Poppy stood at the bus stop waiting for Maya to run off the bus, as she always did. Today, Maya was the last one off the bus, her head hanging low. Hola, princess. How was school? How was social studies, Poppy said. Maya reached into her backpack and handed over the paper that Ms. Anderson handed out. Poppy read the assignment from Maya's teacher, and when they made it into the house, he handed the assignment over to her mother. Why the long face, Maya? What are you so worried about? Asked Mommy. I don't know what box to choose, Maya says as she bursts into tears. They have Black, African American, white, Asian, Hispanic, Native American, Chinese, and Pacific Islander. I understand your concern, Princess, but this is not a time to cry, but a time to celebrate, Mommy said. Mommy, how can I celebrate when I don't know what to do? You are African American and Poppy is Puerto Rican. I know that means I am both, but what box do I choose? Maya asked, looking confused. It's the time to celebrate how special and unique God made you. You are a beautiful, talented, smart, loving, caring young lady, and that is why you should celebrate. Never allow anyone to make you feel like you must choose one culture or the other, Mommy said. You are blessed to celebrate both your Hispanic and your African American cultures. Always be proud of who you are, sweetie. You are right, Mommy, Maya said as she wiped her tears away. We can't wait to see your project, said Poppy. Maya grabbed some magazines, scissors, glue, a poster board, and her markers as she hurried up the steps to begin her project. The next morning, as Mommy and Poppy prepared Maya's breakfast, they heard her feet hit the floor and off she went. Maya's back, Poppy said. She came running down the steps with the poster board secured with a rubber band. She had on a beautiful outfit that she created herself to represent both cultures. Once Maya arrived at Ms. Anderson's class, she could not wait until it was her turn. After Lee completed his presentation, Ms. Anderson said, Maya, it's your turn. Maya removed the rubber band from her poster board and walked towards the front of the class. She turned to face the class and opened her poster board. Maya said this project was to choose one culture and complete a project on how it's important to you. While I am both Puerto Rican and African American, as you can see on my poster, both cultures are special and a part of who I am. I will not choose one. So I made a puzzle piece for the African American flag and the Puerto Rican flag and put it together. This means since my mommy is African American and my papi is Puerto Rican, I have the best of both worlds.
Middle school age is like the biggest age where we see a lot of suicide because kids, of course, they don't know what to do with bullying. We have teachers who don't know what to do with bullying because I think in my era, it was more like, get through it, you'll be okay. And I hear people often say, stick up for yourself. Once you stick up for yourself, it'll be good. But that's not always the case either, because you stick up for yourself, and then it brings sometimes more heat to you. And my oldest child is one who's she's soft-hearted, and I always thought, I don't want her to go to school and have to change who she is to accommodate somebody who's bullying her. So what do we do to help people who are bullying to understand that they're bullying? So the book I wrote. Now, let me start with the cover. The cover, I've been asked on multiple occasions, why does the kid not look like us? Because you're a black author. Well, because if it looked like us, then it would go with the stereotype about us, which is that we are systematically aggressors, bullies, we do things that are, so I purposely did not put us on the front of the book. And so people have asked, but actually the people have asked in my family though. So that's good. I'm sure that there's other people who wonder, why is it, and I get it, but there's a reason to it. However, I didn't forget us. In the book, we are very much in the classroom. The diversity is in the classroom. I was very purposeful with the illustrator to make sure that I said I want black, brown, Asian, all types of kids in the classroom. And she did a very good job of having all of them in the classroom. So this is a very diverse classroom, and it's throughout the book. And so the bully is pretty much about a little boy who is, trying to be funny all the time, making people laugh, which is oftentimes what it looks like in the school. He's trying to make people laugh, but so at one point in the book, his teacher says, "Stop, you're bullying this one little kid." They're laughing at his shirt because he has to wear this same blue sweater all the time and these brown shoes. So, they kind of make fun of it. And, at different times, the boy's like, "Stop," he doesn't think it's funny, and he's not responding. So the teacher says to him, "You're being a bully," and he kind of moves it off like, "No," and one of the kids are like, "You're being a bully." He's like, "No, I'm really not." And so he's on the school bus, and they're laughing at this boy's sweater. And so his bus driver, as he's getting on, said, "You're really mean. You're being a bully." So he goes in home one day, and he tells his mom, they keep calling me a bully. Like, he's pissed at this point. They keep calling me a bully. I'm not a bully. And she said, "Well, what are you doing?" And he told her what he's doing. "I'm laughing. I just like to make fun. I just like to be funny." And so she's like, "Well, if you're doing that and the other person doesn't think it's funny, then you are being a bully." He's like, "But I'm not hitting anybody. I'm not knocking their books out their hand. I'm not being aggressive to anyone." She said to him, it doesn't have to just be that. You are making fun of somebody who is not participating. They don't think it's funny. They don't want to participate. And you're doing it, and your friends are laughing. You are being a bully. And you're going to go to school tomorrow and apologize. Because this is, so basically that's the gist of the book. I don't have to read through it, but that's kind of what it does. It explains bullying and breaks bullying down in a different way. They're telling kids that just because you're not hitting somebody, just because you're not putting stuff, and you're not doing something physical to people, does not mean that you're not bullying. Laughing and joking and talking about people at someone else's expense is bullying just as well as anything else. And so the book is hopefully starting a dialogue at home, in the school. October is Bully Awareness Month. So if anyone is in a school, in an elementary school, it's a really good book to purchase to start reading, especially, like I said, elementary school level, because it breaks down bullying differently than when we talk about what, the generalization of what bullying looks like. But and so working in the school for so long that I know that it's not broken down in this way. It's kind of these blanket definitions, for kids, and then it's kind of, it's not clear as to if you are sitting up there talking about somebody's shoes every day, you are being a bully, because they don't like that. And so it's a little bit more specific in that way. And on the back, it actually has a definition of bullying, the definition of what a bystander is, what an upstander is, and it encourages parents to talk to parent, teachers, and administrators to kind of talk more about bullying, talks about youth suicide rates, and just kind of at the end says choose to be an upstander and not a bystander. So.
And when I went to go visit them, he apologized. He said, "We spent so much time trying to tell you what you can't be because you're a girl. Now we've decided that we're just going to pray for you at the end of the day and let you do whatever you want to do." And so this book is really written to affirm us. Colleges have been ordering the book. High schools have been taking the book. It's gone as far as Germany. I've sold a ton of the books. I'm really here because I wanted to support you and to say that you can do this. And I'm going to read some of this. But the most recent thing I did was I got up in June and I said to my husband, "Yeah, I'm about sick of white people." Because in my other life, I also do implicit bias work with police officers and educators around the country. Something I don't talk about in my social media spaces because of confidentiality. So I rented a car, got behind the wheel, and drove to Seattle, Washington. I drove from Philadelphia, stopped at Mount Rushmore, went to Yellowstone Park, saw the birds and everything else, then drove through to Seattle, and then I drove back 6,000 miles. I drove every last one of those miles on my own. And I did it on purpose. I had a girl Friday beside me who was so useless. But my husband wouldn't let me go by myself, right? I love her dearly, but she's like, I don't pump the gas. And so she actually gained some courage from doing what we were doing. And we ended up calling it the 2 Brown Crayon Store because only there were no black people, right? So we would get on social media and go, America. And we would walk into spaces and they would ask us, are you sure you drove? Are you telling the truth? We said, yeah, we drove. And so Subaru contacted us because we were in the Subaru. So we're going to do it again. And it's going to be sponsored, right? And we're going to do a bus of brown people because all I wanted the brown crayons in the bus. And we're going to go across the country. This time we're going to go straight to Alaska, right? So we're going to stop at the hotels. I'm trying to get hotels to sponsor it as we go along so that all you have to do is show up and be your brown selves. And so this book, right? And so if I can do it, and I'm 50 years old now, if I can do it, what more for you and her and you? You think I don't watch you? I watch you every day. And I see how you separate yourself from foolishness. Think I don't see it? I see it, right? But I always want to make sure that you all are doing what you're supposed to do so I can continue to encourage you in where you're going. It is hard work. But this world revolves around what we as women have always done, right? And we get no credit for it. It's like, do it and sit down and shut up. Or someone comes and co-opts it and take it over, which is why I'm telling you, take your stuff to Uncle Bobby's. So it's me. I have a 26-year-old and a 22-year-old, raised them through school without a suspension or detention in a mostly white school district. I could tell you some stories, right? So reading your book, I'm listening to you. There's so many parents that could use it now. This is my first piece of work that I've written, but just so you know, I've written 7 books. There's 7 books floating around out here. The second one is going to be released in, what are we, September? I'm old. So November, Mr. and Me, The Journey to a Most Unusual Love, and I'm talking about black love, and what that looks like, and what it feels like, and how we shouldn't allow anybody to determine what our black love looks and is about, right? We are who we are, and we make no apologies for it. My husband, I am a diva, you can see. Total nerd. Pocket protector, crushed shirt. Will cut his hair once a month, but loves me in a way so deeply that when I come home from a long day or from traveling for days at a time, he takes my shoes off. He makes my dinner. He does the laundry. And I do it too in return. When he's working, because he's a robot, he builds robots. So you know I'm really married to a nerd. When he comes home and he's tired after doing his conferences, I rub his feet. I put the basket thing of water there. His feet are disgusting. It's so disgusting. But I clean his feet, and do all of those things. And I rub his head. Sometimes he comes home and he says, I don't think this America is for us. I let him lay on my chest. For real, though. Now, I'm just telling you that I'm talking about black love in a way that we don't talk about because we romanticize relationships. And when they don't work, then we go, I can't stand him, blah, 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 right? And so we have to be honest in that. So because this is my first work, I wanted it to be visually impactful. This is my book. It's stunning. But it also has a lot of really good affirmations in it, right? One of them is this. I'll tell you my favorite in a minute, but that's because I'm just so intense with these big old lies of mine. One of them says, why do people walk around saying things like, they stole my idea, or I came up with this before anyone else? Do you not know that the very idea you have, chances are others had the same one too, probably before you, sometimes after you? The difference? They acted upon it while you held tight to your idea, because you didn't want anyone to steal it. Nothing new under the sun. Get over yourselves and act upon what you dream of. Otherwise, it's still just a dream. So these are not fluffy